Hey everyone, Kaylee Shadows here. So I have a little bit of cold, so I sound a little funny, but it's okay. So I wanted to come today and talk about, I have just recently posted on my Facebook page one of my blog posts from my website, kayleeshadows.com, talking about like the top 5 things not to do when you're in a relationship for like that first 2 weeks, because it's kind of a crucial time, you know, kind of that point that's gonna like make or break the relationship. And you know, a lot of us kind of do some things that we shouldn't do, and that's pretty normal. So go on, read that, and you'll see all those things. In conclusion to that, I kind of wanted to talk today about the chasing people. And I was talking to my best friend the other day, and we were kind of talking about different things in relationships and things that people do that they shouldn't do. And after, you know, it started out with 1 or 2 things. The next thing you know, it was like 15 like items later. We were like, wow, these are a lot of things people shouldn't do in relationships. Oh my gosh. And one of the ones, and she actually is the one to point this out, so I got to give her credit for that, that she said one of the biggest things that she sees in relationships is that people will chase the other person. They get to the point where they're not so great, and the one person kind of wants out, the other person doesn't, and so they start just kind of overly doing things and inevitably chasing that person. And that's kind of what you want to avoid in a relationship, because there's no reason to feel that you need to chase a person. If you're out there chasing somebody and trying to get them to be with you and love you and all of this, then for one, you're trying way too hard. And you don't need to do that, because you're fabulous. And I mention this all the time. You know, I'm really big into the idea of self-love. It's really hard to have other people love us when we can't love ourselves. You know, how can we expect somebody to think that we're great and fabulous and amazing if we don't think that about ourselves? And so having that relationship with yourself is extremely important. You need to know how wonderful you are, how great you are, and to just positive, you know, in your life, and just know, like, I'm with this person because not only do I deserve them, but they deserve me. You know, you don't want to ever have that thought that you're not good enough for the person you're with, because that's ridiculous. Of course you're good enough. Why would you not be good enough? You know, and finding that, you know, question and like going, oh wow, big eye opener and stuff, and realizing that you are good enough for that person is going to be the key to pretty much any relationship you're ever in. Not even just romantically, you know, even in friendships and stuff. You have to know that you have a lot to offer, you know. And so when you go into a relationship of any sort, friendships, whatnot, knowing that you have this to offer them just makes it all that better, because they already know what you have to offer. They think you're great. You need to know you're great. So back to the point about the relationship though, like if you're in a romantic relationship and you're dating somebody and you're noticing they're pulling away, and you know that the relationship is more like 80-20, you know, you're putting in everything, they're not putting in anything, you really need to sit back and like reevaluate the entire relationship and what you have going on there, and try to figure out what that is. Is it because something has happened? Is it because the relationship isn't meant to be? A lot of times people don't want to accept the fact that a relationship might not be meant to be, and so they'll, you know, try to do all these things to hold on to that one person, and then they try harder and harder, and they hold on tighter and tighter, and in the end they lose them anyways, you know. So you have to really think about that. It's not worth it. It's not worth time. It's not worth the energy. It's not worth getting hurt over to put all of that in to chase somebody who doesn't want to be chased. You know, if they're not willing to be caught, you're not going to catch them. So just stop, you know. And this can go for a relationship you're in, or maybe a relationship you want, you know. For instance, I have my best friend, for instance, in high school, okay? She totally into this guy, and they were great friends, and she eventually fell in love with him, and she just thought he was so great. And he is a great guy, you know, and stuff. She did. She loved him, and the problem was that he liked her as a friend and thought that, you know, she was great, but he had kind of just stopped it there. Like, he had never moved her into that romantic level. He just basically kept her in the friend zone, which is fine, and it's great. You need those friends. But for her, she had moved him into that romantic level and that zone there, and it was really hard for her to realize that there wasn't, you know, he wasn't feeling the same way. And she did really good there and stuff. She actually kind of eventually had to just, you know, accept it and move on, and he married somebody else, and she moved on and got with somebody else, and everything was good. and they're still friends till this day, and that's great. She was able to actually do that. However, I've seen the same thing happen, and it doesn't always end so well. A lot of times people will do that, and then, you know, once they take somebody from the friend zone and put them in the whole love zone, it's hard to move them back. Not impossible, but it's hard. And so you have to really, you know, think about that. Who this person is and why you love them, and are they going to have that same feeling towards you? And if they don't, it sucks. It really does. I'll give you that. But if they do, then, you know, it's all good. Anyways, my whole point, don't chase anybody, because you are fabulous and you deserve so much better. So check out my website, KayleeShadows.com. Bye.